Let us humbly salute the truth, the reality, the Brahman, with earnest request to reveal to us very soon. Let us humbly pray to the Lord in all his forms, capacities, expressions, with which he is maintaining the entire universe totally and individually. Again, ask him to bless us with the equipment of all our required abilities and the removal of inner and outer obstacles, including Maya. May we salute and request the entire Guru Parampara, the Guru Tattva, and our own Swaguru, bearing with us to be with us always, again to keep on guiding us with all the patience required because we just have started our spiritual journey at the stage of this infanthood. So many of the mistakes keep on happening by us. May we salute the Shruti Mata, Shruti Smriti Purana Itihasa to come into our life, requiring, depending on the requirement of for our evolution, the exact Shrutis along with all its understandings, revelations, inspirations, so that we are always kept up in our tempo and mood to do the best for our spiritual evolution. Having saluted all of them, welcome you all. Salutations to you all too, the wonderful sadhakas, the shrotas, the mumukshus, the jignasus, the bhaktas, the shishyas of Guru Parampara, and the sevakas and the ones doing best in the samstapana of the dharma. Welcome you all. In today's few minutes of introduction, we all know ki it is our good deeds give us sukha, which our bad deeds which give us the dukkha. Decide first of all that for our own sukha and dukkha, we alone are the cause, nobody else. If anybody else, if we mention as the cause, which being untrue, we will never be able to find solution to eliminate one, gain one continuously, or even to rise above both of them. Second point. Therefore, whenever the sukha came, it was our punya. Whenever dukkha came, humiliation, insult, whatever, it is our own some papa done. This life, 2 minutes back or 2 hours back, 2 days back, 2 years back, it may be 2 lives or 20 lives back. We don't know. So, a spiritually oriented person should look these things like this. Ki whenever I became sukhi, that was because I have done the punyam. Therefore, if I can do the punyam which can give me the sukha, then I can do more and more punyam to do to get more and more sukha. But then the relation between punya karma and its phala of sukha being such that karma being limited, phala also being limited, I should think then can I do something by which the Shashvata Sukha and Ananda can come? In this question, as an answer to it, from the Punya Karma doing, we will become the sadhana doing sadhakas. That should happen in us every time when we become sukhi. Oh, some punya I have done, I got the sukha. If that is so, I can do the sadhana to get shashvata sukhi called as moksha. I can get it. So let me become sadhaka more than punyatma. In this way, every time the sukha comes, it should inspire us to become sadhaka. Not again sukha meaning punyatma. Otherwise, that second chakra again of doing good and getting the punya and sukha, that alone will remain. We can't rise above that. Same way, whenever we are getting the dukkha, we should know that it is because of something bad done. So that dukkha should give such a regret to us that we become highly sensitive, highly careful, highly sensible, that not even one small mistake is happening in us, through us, by us, knowingly or unknowingly, which is not sanctioned by the Shastra, which is not according to what we are supposed to do, for whatever the reason. That's why to a sadhaka, Bhagavan, for small little mistake also, gives so much of dukkha and regrets, only to make him realize that he should become so much sensitive and aware and alert, that he will not do anything which is other than the Shastrokta, which is not his duty. So, this type of small mistake given maximum dukkha is a krupa and karuna of the God to make that sadhaka, his bhakta, totally wean away from doing anything wrong, even a minute also. And that's how the people of evolution have evolved too, by avoiding all those papa. See, either avoid the papa and get out of the upadhi tadatmya, or get out of the upadhi tadatmya and avoid doing the papa. Both are reason to each other. Whenever the upadhi tadatmya, for the sake of sukha of those upadhis, something or the other papa I do. And whenever I have done the papa, that is again because of the upadhi tadatmya, it becomes strengthened. So both ways you have to see to it. When I say I'm not these upadhis, like yesterday, how wonderful was in our Rubhu Gita. The upadhi nirakarana, tiraskarana was done. When those upadhis are not me, why should I cater to the demands, desires of the upadhis, which are forcing me to do the papa or adharma or wrong things? And in turn, giving the dukkha. It is getting dukkha, but it is giving it to me. First and foremost, without doing any papa or adharma, one can live and one should live. That type of understanding and acceptance should come. Then, knowing that all our dukkha's are because of this negative doings, from this moment onwards, become very alert, very sensitive. Even little negative, bad dharma should not happen to us, through us. And then, as we become sensitive in sadhana, with uh, devotion to God and Guru, study of Shastra, we become so little matured by God's grace that what is wrong, therefore, should not be done, is easily becomes cognizable by us. At the level of total worldliness and samsara and bhoga, at that time, because of utter tamo guna, for us at that time, adharma also appears as dharma. Gita 18 chapter. Adharmam dharmamidya manyate tamasavruta. Sarvarthan viparitan. Buddhisa partha tamasi. But as we grow spiritually, truly, seriously, sincerely, genuinely, with our efforts and prayers and the grace, we will be able to become sensitive, recognize that, oh, this is wrong thought, this is wrong word, this is wrong action. Yet, because the force of habit, sometime because of the would be prarabdha we have to get, we end up in doing wrong. वो भी चलता है कुछ दिनों के लिए, साल के लिए, जन्म के लिए, कि you know it is wrong, but you are under some the influence of moha, that we end up in doing it and we get the kicks. चलता है वो कुछ समय. Then in that course only we become more and more stronger in our awareness and willpower not to commit even a mistake, come what may. Thereafter only the status of Nachiketa and all where, even without doing any mistake or anything, we ourselves are offered with all experience of the Sukha and Bhoga of the world, that we will be able to withdraw from it or reject it or deny it, knowing that they are all temporary. Nachiketa has done no papa. Without doing any punya also, or maybe one punya that he was obedient to his father, that every sukha bhoga was offered to him. But he denied all of that. That's why he desired Brahma Vidya. So the given thing only, if he has not taken, from his own side, has he got any desire? No. Therefore, has he ever done any of the punya? Not interested. If he has not done the punya only, will he do any papa for the sake of sukha or the bhoga? He will not. So, that jiva in Nachiketa, from this utter lower level of doing all adharma and papa for the sukha bhoga of the artha kama, for the sake of senses and body, from that he has slowly risen to this level that freely offered Sukha Bhoga also with the dosha drishti in it, he has denied it. So that's what we have to make as a goal for us. And that's why his prayer request was heeded by Yamaraj in giving the Brahma Vidya. Not only that, he received it. Not only that, he did sadhana. Not only, he got the moksha. Like yesterday, Kausalya Mata, in her such a long age, how many times she must have heard about the Adhyatmika sadhana from Vasishthaji, Vishwa, so many people. आते रहते हैं वो सत्संग. But herself is not in that state of total vairagya. Therefore, that knowledge was not received. But lastly, in that yesterday's portion, if you see, Nirveda Vadini, so totally she is detached from all things. Therefore, she could receive the knowledge as given by Bhagavan. So too, in our lives, every sukha should remind us that we have done the punya and should inspire us to do those things by which Shashvata Sukha comes. Shashvata Sukha comes only through the spiritual adhyatmic enlightenment of discovering ourself. Therefore, every sukha should inspire it to do sadhana. So too, every dukkha should make us feel regretted that we have done some papa, and that should give us awareness and sensitivity to recognize the ways of the thoughts of the mind, plans of the intellect, and see in that is there any papa, any adharma. It becomes so conspicuously known. ये हमको नहीं करना चाहिए. Then develop the guts and abilities very strong to say no to do that thing, whether it is an utterance of the word, whether it's an action, whether it is what you say, the thought in the mind. And on the disguise of some good deeds, noble deeds, also the inner ego trying to satiate its pleasures through the faculties tries to do some mischief. Even that also we should be recognizing it. And like doing all type of charities and helps. What for? There is some ego inside. It wants to get satisfied. Spiritually, देखा जाए, even that also is not allowed from the highest spiritual standpoint. Highest spiritual is totally focusing only on the truth. Nothing else is real. Nothing else is required from that standpoint. That's why Sarva Dharman in that brackets you can add the Punyan also. Sarvadharman, Sarvapunyani, Parityajya. Because all dharma, punya also, from a spiritual standpoint, because they bind us to the worldliness, are papa and adharma only. So to that level we have to aim at. In short, other than seeking the truth, nothing should be sought. Therefore, other than doing those things which make us successful in the seeking of the truth, other than that, nothing we should do in life. Even to come to these understandings, and understandings are not enough. Convictions are not enough. Living like that takes so many lives of evolution. That's how, when we have put ourselves in the hands of God and the Guru, in trying to evolve us, they give all such bitter, bad experiences through which we come out of all these, what do you say, obstructing, what do you say, uh, disturbing lower ways of life and thoughts. स्वीकार करते जा रहा उसको पाठ सीखते जाना, और बस once you learn the lesson, leave that experience and be ready for another worst, bitter experience if it is due and required for us to learn from it. But deliberately, consciously become same time sensitive, not to do anything kaya vacha manasa which is not required or not allowed, so that the time energy is not wasted in again suffering all the mental agony or any other sort of humiliations, etc. So this is how every dukkha, every sukha should give us vairagya as well as the mumukshuta and desire to do the sadhana more and more intensely. If that is done, then that aparadha mistake done, the Lord will forgive. Instead of learning the lesson, either we repeat the same mistake or try to do similar other mistakes, then we will be more severely punished. The severe most punishment of the Lord is taking us away from the spiritual path and putting us in the category of the worldly people, wherein again punya papa sukha dukkha janma marana shatru mitra raga dvesha, all these samsara, from where out of so many lives of sadhana we came out and ejected out, again we are sent back there. है कि नहीं? वॉशिंग मशीन से कपड़ा निकला, साफ सुथरा नहीं है तो दोबारा उसको डालेंगे धोने के लिए, है कि नहीं? सेम वे विल बी पुट बैक इनटू दैट. Knowing this, therefore, let every experience add to the wisdom, strengthen the wisdom, make the wisdom conviction, make us live the wisdom, live, and thus grow in that wisdom or being wise. This is only the wise advice. Anything other than this is the otherwise we have life itself, life only. So may we thus become so sensitive to the whole these things that other than becoming introverted, other than focusing on the self, and whatever the spiritual sadhanas that are there, for all that, involving in them alone should be our order of life every day, Subha Dopar Sham. Nothing else. In that strict way of living life, only the mind, the Maya, the world, the senses, all of that, the terrible enemies, we can slowly rise above, then come nearer to the comprehension or apprehension of the truth or the reality. And in the experience of the truth only, the infinite bliss and experience comes. Thus, the chances of identifying the upadhis and committing mistakes of both the punya papa become zerofied or minimized. Even there also, the knowledge is like the self is one, one without second, even at the upadhi level. Truly from the heart we are here only to serve the total. Nothing individuality should be considered. These wisdoms also are given, or we get them from within also. Thus, even if upadhis are used truly for the world's service, not for one's own falling down. That stage, that help also, that bonus also Bhagavan gives. Thus, we have no other way than to evolve to become perfect. That's why, the ones who are in all the dirty dressed, anywhere they can sit, anything they can touch. But those who are in tip top good dress, you can't touch anything, just like that Nari sits. Because मैल हो जाएगा कपड़ा. हमारा जीवन भी जब साफ सुथरा हो रहा है through spirituality, we can't afford now again to sit anywhere, touch anything. No way than to maintain our that dignity and that soberness as well as such maturity, etc. And these are the very essential things to learn, which 3 4 5 janam lagte hain, are full kicks of every time. Whichever we are touching, we are kicked. There are some exhibitions. कुछ भी सब कुछ देखो, कुछ भी टच नहीं करना. Touching is a punishment or crime there. Today we'll see that only, Shaucham and all. So, to that level we have to come. that neither we should touch anything nor allow anything to touch our mind, thus go only toward the self. These are the lessons we have to learn from our everyday's experience and grow. When sufficient quota of experiences are learnt in this life, from the experiences the things are learned, Bhagavan says, shall take up to again another life he will give. There he will teach us some, again another life. In that way, when the total perfection comes in that final life, whichever it may be, we become so deeply introverted to transcend all the layers and discover the true self. May it happen to all of us in this very life very soon, not waiting for future lives. Om, 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 Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः. ओम निधये सर्वविद्यानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. ओम शंकरं शंकराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः. ओम यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्. ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्. ॐ सुकृतेऽधिकृते बहुधा भवतो भविता समदर्शनलालसता अतिदीनमिमं परिपालय मां भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणम्. ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः. श्री ऐतरेय उपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः. वेदव्यासमहर्षये नमः. ऐतरेय महर्षये नमः. आद्यशङ्करमहर्षये नमः. अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. सर्वेषां तेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकहैन्दव संस्कृतेः साधनानां योगवेदान्तभक्त्यादि प्रक्रियाणां गुरुशिष्यभक्तभगवत् परम्परादीनां च पुनरुत्थान जागरण विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगति विश्व शांति कल्याण पुरोभिवृद्धि एकदा प्राप्त्यर्थम अस्मिन् धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये कंकणबद्ध अस्माकं सह सर्वेषाम् आचार्याणां गुरूणां साधकानां भक्तानां जिज्ञासूनां सेवकानां श्रेयविलासिनां परिश्रमिणां च पूर्णायुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्य क्षेम स्थैर्य धैर्य वीर्यादि समस्त शक्ति संपदा सानुकूल्यता साधनानां प्राप्ति द्वारा बाह्य अभ्यंतर शत्रु विघ्न निर्मूलन द्वारा धर्म संस्थापन कार्ये दिग्विजयार्थम श्री ऋग्वेदांतर्गत ऐतरेय उपनिषदः पारायणम् आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे. ओम मनस्तावतमः शान्त्यै यस्य पादनखच्छटा शरदिन्दुनिभाभाते तं वन्दे नीलचिन्मणिम्. अथ श्री ऋग्वेदान्तर्गत ऐतरेयारण्यकान्तर्गत ऐतरेय उपनिषद शांति मंत्रः. ओम वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य महाणेस्त श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासेः. अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवत्ववतु मामवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम्. ओम शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. In our Parayanam, today we have to do Trutiyodhyayah. Om Parayanam Atha Trutiyodhyayah. Om Koyamatmeti Vayamupasmahe Katarah sa Atma Yena va Pashyati येन वा शृणोति येन वा गन्धानाजिघ्रति येन वा वाचं व्याकरोति येन वा स्वादु च विजानाति यदेतत् हृदयं मनः च एतत् संज्ञानमाज्ञानं विज्ञानं प्रज्ञानं मेधा दृष्टिः धृतिः मतिः मनीषा ज्योतिः स्मृतिः संकल्पः क्रतुः असुः कामः वशः इति सर्वाणि एव एतानि प्रज्ञानस्य नामधेयानि भवन्ति। एष ब्रह्मा एषः इन्द्रः एष प्रजापतिः एते सर्वे देवाः इमानि च पञ्चमहाभूतानि पृथिवी वायुः आकाश आपः ज्योतिंषि एतानि इमानि च क्षुद्रमिश्राणि इव बीजानि इतराणि च अण्डजानि च जारुजानि च स्वेदजानि च पतत्रि च यच्च स्थावरं सर्वं तत्प्रज्ञानेत्रं प्रज्ञाने प्रतिष्ठितं प्रज्ञानेत्रो लोकः प्रज्ञाप्रतिष्ठा प्रज्ञानं ब्रह्म स एतेन प्रज्ञेन आत्मना अस्मात् लोकात् उत्क्रम्य अमुष्मिन् स्वर्गे लोके सर्वान् कामान् आप्त्वा अमृतः समभवत् इति ॐ वाङ्मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एदि वेदस्य माणिस्तश्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनाधीतेन होरात्रान् सन्ददामृतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवत् त्ववतु मामवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. Friends, we are studying Aitareya Upanishad from Aitareya Aranyaka of the Rigveda. This Upanishad has taken up beautiful stories or the prakriyas like that of creation there and the mini creation through the womb of the mother. So total creation of the Lord that time, and here the creation of the Mata Pita of the child. Both the prakriyas are taken up only for creating the vairagya in us for anything in the world and creating jignasa in us for the truth or reality. These things appear to be so vague and unacceptable at the time where we are filled with so many vasanas and habits. As they get reduced, the truth of these sentences, the reality of these sentences, the utility of these practices of detachment, vairagya from the world, and the desire to know the truth, we will be able to realize. It comes to everyone, it takes time. So, in our yesterday's topic, the Dvitiyam Janma is done. Now, the Trutiyam Janma also is introduced. There, something is said where something has to be asked from the Guru, and we must know it. Okay, chant this mantra. Number 4. Saha asya ayam atma punyebhyah pratidhiyate atha asya ayam itaraha atma कृतकृत्यो वयोगतः प्रएति सः इतः प्रयन् एव पुनः जायते तद् अस्य तृतीयं जन्म. So the literal meaning is what? This Atma, the born child now, after that second birth, first birth is Reto Rupena, put it in the womb of the mother. So coming out of the father, entering into mother is first Janma. Coming out of the mother's womb, entering into the earth is called second Janma. After he is sufficiently grown, he is Punyebhya Pratidhiyate. He is being endowed with the responsibility of all the punyas to be done. While he is doing that, atha asya ayam itaraha atma, and the one who created this baby or the child gave all the punya samskara to do. What happens to him, that elderly man, the father? Krutakrutya. First is fully accomplished what he has to do to the world through creating such a responsible child. Then Vayogataha, then the time won't stop. Everybody it makes old. Once the oldness is reached, thereafter the same Kala cease to is that Jiva is uh, leaving that body too. That's called praiti. Now, when he leaves the body, it is not end of him. Journey continues. Saha itaha paren eva. As he leaves this body, punaha jayate. Then again he is born. Tad asya trutiyam janma. That is, his third janma. And then, before entering into Bhashya, one or two thoughts are depending on our next immediate worthy birth body, or depending on our next what we deserve. You know? If that thing is readily available, he will be put in it. If it is in the process, he need to wait. If it is not at all there, it is to be created. Again, in any bus stand, when you stand, the bus where you have to reach to the journey, if it is readily available and moving, अब बैठ गए तो निकल गए, है लेकिन 1 घंटे के बाद निकलेगी, या नहीं तो 5 घंटे के बाद, or there is no bus at all to that place. Either you have to change 2 3 buses, or you have to wait for the road transport corporation to put a bus in that road also. है ना, हर साल the roads and railways, new routes also they go on adding. In the same way, sometime that's how in the human time, very next moment only will be born. Sometime 1 hour, sometime 1 month, 1 year, sometime 2 4 years. It takes in the human years. Okay, sometime it takes many years. 20-25 साल means uh, again too much papa is done. Yatana deha are given. If not, then before we deserve the human birth, depending on the predominant, okay, punya and papa done, those naraka or tiryag yoni or the uttama devata sharira are given for us to go through those results of papa and punya. Okay, so here generally we are talking about getting the new birth is the human only for sadhana. But this human life I live, next human birth I get, in between there can be so many births I will have to go through depending on my prarabdha of punya, papa and their fructification. And the one in whose life only sadhana samskaras are more, he will be put in human life with again the sukha dukkha of his punya papa in that life. Evolution goes on. Like you see, for some time the Bharataji was in the life of the deer, but he was conscious. Then at time's maturity, the deer body left, again he entered into the human. So such stories should be sufficient enough for us to understand how the whole nature works for the jivas for their evolution. And knowing all this is a minimum important knowing. Then depending on that only we do punya and good karmas, which helps us to be happy, contented, peaceful, even in this very life. And nowhere in the Shastra or in human life, dukkha and suffering is expected. No need. You can enjoy even artha kama of the world. Dukkha ka lesha matra bhi nahi hona. But then, not knowing these things, we do unconsciously more, consciously lesser, all adharma and pap. That's why we suffer. And the picture is very clear and keep on doing good things only. Then no need of any dukkha. That's why in this world, 100% dukhi you can see, 95% dukhi you can see, 40, 60, 70, 50% you can see dukhi, 30, 20% dukhi bhi dikhte hai. At very minimum dukkha, only 1%. That type of also you can see. So that means in his life the papa is very less, that was done earlier, punya is maximum. Okay, now with Bhashya, this Chaturtha mantra, we will thoroughly study it. We have seen to a great extent, but again we will see. Ki asya means what? Saha asya ayam atma. Na? Saha ayam atma punyebhya pratidhiyate. This jiva newly born will be attached with the responsibility of doing punya. So this Atma, the child of, is of whom Asya. Therefore, Asya means of this Pita. So Asya Pituhu, of this father, Saha Ayam Putraha. That is child, who is referred here as Atma. That Shruti Mata is telling. The child is the Atma of the father only. Earlier also it was said, from him only it has come. He identified this body, from the body only the Virya and all. Therefore it is Atma only. These are all Vyavahara. Paramarthik mein, he is the only self. There is no Stula Sharira at all to say that is my Atma. But the feeling given, feeling required for him to take care of the child, etc. Before that, take care of the wife when the child is in the womb. Therefore, that Atmiya Bhavana yahan baat ho rahi hai, not Paramatma. So that Putra, who is an Atma to the father, not the real Atma. I'm deliberately using that same sentence after explaining here. Atma is a Atmiya Bhavana, naturally given to him, naturally he has, because of which the nature pushes him to take care of the child when he is in the mother's womb and also when he is born. So, Saha Pitra, Saha Asya Pituhu, Saha Ayam Putraha Atma. I am putra of this father who is his own Atma. Be attentive. Punyebhyaha means Shastroktebhyaha karmabhyaha. Karma nishpadanartham pratidhiyate. Pituhu sthane pitra. Pitru sthane. So in the place of the father, pratidhiyate, he is appointed to do Shastrokta karma. That is the meaning of Punya karma. The main word used in the mantra is Punya karma. What is Punya karma? Shastrokta karma only. And why this Shastrokta karma? Be attentive. Has been done by the father, and now he is appointing his son as successor. Only one. Karma nishpadanartham. The karma nishpadana has two meanings is what? For the work should continue. करते रहना चाहिए. So he is passing on the torch or the baton. Certainly देखा जाए कर्म निष्पादन means that child should get nishpadanam, clearance, freedom from his own karmas which he has brought. Third meaning also is there, wherein these doings of the child to some extent do the nishpadana, the clearance of the karma of the father. When the child does that shraddha, the karma, and through which pitru runa he clears, in that effort, some of the karma of the father also get exhausted. सो पिता के कर्म निष्पादन, स्वयं के कर्म निष्पादन, एंड जो दुनिया को जो कर्म हमारे से होना है उसका भी निष्पादन के लिए शास्त्र ने जो बताया वो सारा उनको सिखा के उनको करवाना है. ऑल दैट इज सेड इन वन वर्ड एज पुण्येभ्यः. ओके, पुण्येभ्यः शास्त्रोक्तेभ्यः कर्मभ्यः कर्म निष्पादनार्थम प्रतिधीयते. ही इज बीइंग अपॉइंटेड पितुः स्थाने, in the place of father. In short, Pitrayat Kartavyam Tat Karanaya. What was being done so far by the father, now the son will do. Pratinidhiyate ityartaha. So the karma is continuing. The child is getting opportunity for his own exhaustion of karma and clearing the runa of the society. And the father also, little whatever is there of his karma, the child will do and clear because his Atma only. Father can go for his further journey. Iti artaha. Now, that is told to us in the Shastra also, Brihadaranyaka. For all such explanations given by Shankara, he quotes one or the other Upanishads or the Vedas. He is giving Bhashyam only of the main mantra. But how come you give this Bhashyam? You may ask a question. He says it is given in that Shruti or Smriti or Purana Itihasa by that authority. So thus he always is safe by quoting the Shastra in explaining so that we don't doubt him. Same time, we need not hold him. Through him we hold the Shastra, through the Shastra the sadhana and Paramatma. To all that to happen, we have to hold him to study the Shastra. So there is a Samprati Vidya. In that it is said, Tathacha Samprati Vidyayam Vajasneyake. In that Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, among many topics, one topic is Samprati Vidya topic. In that it is said, Pitra Anushishtaha, that son who is fully, thoroughly being taught, educated, guided by the father, he says, Brahma aham, yajna aham, ityadi pratipadyate iti. We know the Upanishads are mystical in their style of teaching, therefore, little more pause and use the intellect, then the expansive meaning is understood. So, Brahma Aham, Yajna Aham. So, he studied the Brahma or the Veda so much, taught by the father, that he became one with the Veda. That's how he says Aham Brahma. So, to in Veda, what is most important thing is taught Yajna only. Therefore, in doing the yajna also, he is made to identify so much with it that aham yajna. Like our classes, we have identified with these classes so much that I am this class. That feeling. There's no difference or distance. Every day I have to do it only. You have to do it only. In the same way. Second meaning is what? Brahma aham means aham pure Brahma asmi. The same Brahma me is there in manifestation in the world in various forms. Okay. And all various forms manifestation are for the together entertainment enjoyment only, together evolution only, not for devolution. That attitude is called as aham yajna. The Brahman alone is expressing as yajna. This comes in third chapter Gita. है ना अन्नात् भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यादन्न संभवः यज्ञात् भवति पर्जन्यः यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि ब्रह्माक्षर समुद्भवं तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम द ब्रह्मन who is all pervading is continuously experienced or seen in the yajna. Therefore, Aham Brahma, it is a transcendental experience. Aham Yajna, it is an immanent expression of me in the form of the world in which everything happening is a Yajna only. Yajna is only three parts. One is either entertainment, or second is for the totalities good, or to express the divinity. So this child is taught in this way by the father, that he is identified the Brahma and Yajna. Brahma is the Vedas, Yajnas are the Yajnas told in the Veda at the lower level. Higher level, Brahma is Parabrahma, that is transcendental. Lower level, Yajna means, higher level, the Yajna means expression of that Parabrahma only, in which everything is in cooperation, coordination. Isn't it? Just see the whole universe of sun, moon, star, and the planetary system, the other planetary systems, and the galaxies, Milky Ways. All of them are in a yajna only. To such an extent, at the micro level, if you say a very small atom, in that also the protons and neutrons and the electrons, all of them are in such a movement, they are coordination with each other, that it is becoming a stabilized thing, supporting other things. That ability of coordination between all the nucleons or everything is called yajna. In our body also, how many parts are there? How many trillions of tissues are there? But all of them are working in coordination with each other for the total body to continue and cater to be the jivas. That is yajna going on. There is yajna going on in 5 fingers of the right hand, left hand. There is yajna going on between the 2 hands and 2 legs. There is yajna going on from the top of the head to the toe. They are all connected within the body. किडनी, पैंक्रियास, लिवर, कोई भी ऐसे इंडिपेंडेंट इंडिविजुअल नहीं है. Like in a tree, from the root up to the flower or fruit, everything is in yajna only. Cooperative, coordinating way living. So this is what is the essence of the Vedas that the father taught the child. So punyebhyah karmabhyah pratidhiyate. Okay. Karmabhyah also word not used. Shruti Mata ne punyebhyah pratidhiyate. Bhagavan explained Shankara punyebhyah shastrokta karmebhyah. For what? Karma nishpadanartham. An example, aham brahma aham yajnaha in the Vajasaneya Shruti. So in this way, the father has taught the child to follow the Vedas for Brahma Prapti and live the life outside only for Yajna. Not for individual purpose, Individual means upadhi. The moment you come to individual level and upadhi tadatmya, we have started falling down in doing the papa and suffer ourselves and the world. Because vasanas and ignorance and not having strong knowledge, we tend to come down like that. Thus, when the knowledge is strengthened, the vasanas are washed off. This information which we have heard now and hesitating to receive it or accept it becomes our conviction. That I have to live for the total and with all my upadhis, not for my upadhi level at the cost of traveling the totality. ये वाला जो है ना सत्य की बात जल्दी घुसता नहीं बिकॉज our वासना so powerful, our ignorances, our value given to the enjoyments in the world, ये सब इसको ही मोह कहते हैं. What is moha? You must contemplate on it. Delusion. Delusion is living at lower level thinking that I cannot give it up. Even after getting kicks there, even after proved again and again proven that it is not right, it is wrong, फिर भी नहीं छोड़ दिया ना, वो delusion है. उसका solution क्या है? Knowing that I am delusionally caught up, giving up that is the solution. That's it. And discover the independence from it. And when we give it up and live, we can find that we are alive still. We are happy still. We are little elated and evolved. In fact, the discovery of freedom is called freedom from delusion. Everyone will have to. It's very tough. बिकॉज एक जगह डेल्यूजन जाता है तो दूसरी जगह पकड़ता है, तीसरी जगह. हाँ, तो एवरीवेयर फ्रॉम मिसकंसेप्शंस ऑफ डेल्यूजन वी हैव टू गेट आउट ऑफ. I can't live Brahman. I can live only as Jiva, Deha. This weakness is delusion, which is because of many lives of practices and such sort of asanas, convictions, companies. Whole world is looked like that. पूरा दुनिया ऐसी दिख रहा है कि फंसे हुए हैं. तो how can I be something different than other than them? These are the doubts which will pull us to down level only, never allows for the higher convictions. So each one of us have to cross all of them. Know it. सो कर्मेभ्यः शास्त्रोक्तेभ्यः कर्मेभ्यः कर्म निष्पादनार्थम अहम ब्रह्म अहम यज्ञः. See, in this way the father taught and I appointed the jiva, the son. So asya putrah, that I am atma punyebhyah pratidhiyate is that meaning. It also shows the responsibility of father doesn't end only in giving birth and giving food or any education, etc. The spiritual education must be given. The Vedic way of living life. Doing all things like yajna only to recognize the Brahman. Everything else is Maya, delusion. देखो you and I through study of Shastras should evolve to this. अगर नहीं हो रहा तो और एक राउंड लगाओ शास्त्र पढ़ना, दूसरा तीसरा 10वां. अगर 20th round required for us, let us do it. But come to this conviction that I live life full of yajna, inner and outer, only to realize the Brahman. Anything other than where the Brahman is not set as the goal, where the life is not lived as yajna, we are in delusion, we are in ignorance, we are in wrongdoings, we are going to be caught up or bound. ये conviction हमको होना है. बाप रे, जल्द से जल्द हो जाए वो बच गए. Otherwise, some more papa we do, again some more dukkha we have to go through, again sadhana also is going on. साधना का फल भी मिलता रहता है, पाप का डंडा भी लगते रहता है. डोंट यू सी इन द वर्ल्ड ग्रेट साधकास आल्सो सफरिंग. ऐसा कैसा हुआ? यूएस वन मिस्टेक, उसका सफरिंग तो होता ही है, बट साधना में भी आगे बढ़. सी reduces the papa karma, then there is no dukkha given to him. Why will that happen? When we slip from the Brahman as goal, when we slip from the yajna attitude. That is why how beautiful is our Rubhu Gita. I tell you, we are so lucky. वो तो इतना हमको 10-11 चैप्टर आपने देखा. Though we were going little faster, but I'm sure you are able to grasp the meaning of it. Other than Brahmam na anyasmi, Brahmasmi, कितना repeat करा रहे. So from today what I will do, because the thing is common, what is common thing I'll tell in advance in that 15-20 seconds. इस पूरा पोर्शन में ये बताया जा रहा है. And in every chapter, there are 3 or 2 portions are given of 20-30 slokas, in which one particular thing is given us to us for our abhyas, in which the neti rejection is done by anatma by the Vyatireka sadhana, then soham is done through Anvaya sadhana of the Brahman. I tell today. आज से लेकर बाकी जो 20 चैप्टर है आज हिंट करेंगे, देन यू कैन कीप दैट इन माइंड एंड एंजॉय द चैंटिंग एंड इन योर ओन फ्रीडम टाइम आल्सो थ्रू आउट द डे, और एक बार पढ़ लो तो वो गुड पॉजिटिव थॉट्स दैट आई एम ब्रह्मन, दे स्टार्ट एंटरिंग इनटू अस, which can become stronger and grown in their own due time and eliminate all other thoughts of trying to live life as a jiva samsari. Clear? Now comes the next important topic. After this, what is done? Ityadi pratipadyate iti. No. Atha. Then atha is the word in the main mantra. Atha means what? Anantaram. Anantaram means afterwards. Afterwards is what? Afterwards what? Putre niveshya atmana bharam. Of his own responsibility, having put on the son. This father. Who is he? Asya putrasya itaraha. Ayam yaha pitra. Ayam yaha pitra. Ayam yaha means that one who is other than this son, this father. By him, that pitra, atma, what is the word used here? Ayam itaraha pitra, atma, krutakrityaha is important. Having that way given birth to child and training him and giving him full responsibilities. Clear? Niveshya atmanaha bharam. Putting all his responsibilities on the child. This father now is other than the child. Krutakrityaha. Fulfilled is. What is the Krutakrityata? Kartavyat runatrayat vimuktaha. He is free from the 3 runa kartavya. Free from the karta. He is free, sorry. He has done the kartavya of freeing himself from the 3 runas. 3 main runas are Deva Runa, Rishi Runa, Pitru Runa. So Pitru Runa he cleared by giving birth to child and nourishing him. Then Deva Runa he cleared by teaching that child to do the upasana of the god. Rishi Runa he cleared by teaching the child to study the Vedas and live life according to. So therefore there are 2 necessary ways by which these 3 runas are cleared. Deva, Pitra, Rishuna. That I myself have to practice them, and then impart these things to the children also. Next generation, then these runas become clear. So Deva Runa cleared by myself, doing the upasanas, teaching it to my next generation. Rishi Runa cleared by me, by studying the Shastras and living life according to, and again passing it on to the next generation. So too, the Pitru Runa is cleared by me when I get the child, and then that child also is made to grow, and he also gets the child. पहले ये होता है, second is Deva Pitru. So in this way, Krutakritya he has become. See how to the mantra adding so many fill up the blanks. Bhagavan Shankara making the meaning so beautiful, appealing and complete. If you are very attentive and concentrating in our attempt to listen. So he has become Krutakritya now. Atha anantaram putre niveshya atmanaha bharam asya putrasya itaraha ayam yaha pitra atma Krutakrityaha kartavyat runatrayat vimuktaha. So thus Krutakartavyaha, that one whose kartavya has been accomplished, Krutakrityata ho gaya by giving birth to child, by training, teaching him, by putting all responsibility on the child. Iti arthaha. So Krutakartavya iti arthaha. Then he can relax with regarding to his kartavya that they are being done. Then what happens to him? Vayogataha. Itna karte karte vayogataha means gatavayaha. All his age is slowly oozing away. He becomes old. That means jirnaha, son becoming very, very old. Once one becomes old, what is the next step? Praeti. Praiti. What is the praiti? Mriyate. Marta hai. So that marta hai comes from the Sanskrit word mriyate. Mriyate, marta hai, mrityu. हो गया. After the mrityu, father की बात हो रही है, not the child. Child is living. After the mrityu, gatavaya jirna sanpraiti mriyate, saha, that one jiva was a father who died, who left this body. Itaha means atsmat prayan eva. While leaving this body only, shariram prarityajan eva. While leaving this body, truna jalukavat, like the truna jaluka, the small kida which goes from one blade of grass to the other, one leaf to the other. In that way, dehantaram upadanaha karmashitam. Getting the next deha, depending on his own karma, punaha jayate, he will be born. And where he is born, we don't know. In between many of the other Pashu Pakshi yonis, if he deserves, he will get. If the vasanas are so strong and they can be exhausted only in those Pashu Pakshi Sharira, not possible in the human. ऐसी बात है. But ऐसी जरूरत नहीं है, तो he will be born in the Manushya yoni only. Because he lived a noble life, fulfilled his कृतकृत्यता, है कि नहीं. अब उसको प्रमोशन ही होगा ना. Unless it does very wrong, like somebody joined as clerk, regularly, systematically is doing work, he will only get promotions to the level 3, level 2, level 1, all of that. Unless he does lot of crime and gotala, etc., he will not be demoted or suspended or removed. Isn't it? नहीं होगा. Generally, वो तो progressive. So coming into human life, it will be progressive only mostly, unless one does terrible crimes. In this life, or some stock is there. Okay. So, truna jalukavat dehantaram upadanaha karmachitam punaha jayate. So, the body which is deserving according to this karma, entering into it, he again gets birth. So, the truna jaluka example, that uh, one blade of grass is there, this another blade of grass is here, or patta. In this patta, that kida is there. How it goes? Slowly अपने head को ऊपर करके, it puts it on the other grass blade. Then it lifts the back portion. Then the आगे का portion थोड़ा आगे करता है. Then little more it lifts. Again goes. Finally from this to that it jumps to. It moves to, not jumps, crawls. How it crawls from this leaf to the other. In between there is a gap from this leaf to that leaf. So कैसे वो तृणक जलुका जाती है, उसी तरह leaving this body, taking up other body, one enters into it. And the body given depends on ki karma chitam, according to the karmas of him. Deyantara upadanam karma chitam munjayat. And it is so. As I told you, he can be born again in very India, in the same state, same place. It can be born in other states. He can be born in different countries, different continents. Not necessarily. Every life, everybody is in same place. Depending on the samskara, their demand, they will be given. These are all ऊपर वाला देख रहा है, उसके अनुसार ही जन्म देते हैं. हाँ, yes. Just like in this very life also, how many Indian born are settled in बाहरी देशों में? तो 2-3 करोड़ तो होंगे. It's a big number. So that's a proof to us that though born here, but their samskaras are such that they have to go and settle there. And the vice versa also is there. How many the people from other countries, foreigners, are there in India? More for spirituality than the other business. In some of the spiritual organizations, Westerners inspired there, come and settle in India and they enjoy. They are lakhs in number. If you go to the Aurobindo ashram, the Tiruvannamalai Ramana ashrams, ISKCONs, ये सब जाओगे तो आपको बाहर जन्म लिए लोग ही इधर आके सेटल्ड है. बहुत सारे लाखों मिलते हैं. Born there but came here. So their samskaras brought them here. Isn't it? Some other funny things you can see. People born in very low tribal level, They, with their samskara, they become governors, chief ministers, and presidents. Isn't it? देख रहे हो ना कर्म का बल. So to those who are in the highest post, they somehow change their mind and stay. हम कहीं village में रहेंगे बस खुद का खाना बनाते हुए. But you are a करोड़पति, you are a well wanted minister or famous and all. But पता नहीं मेरे को लग रहा है मैं जा रहा हूँ. गया वो जाता भी है वो. People living big towns and go and stay in the villages and all. उनका संस्कार वैसा है. प्रारब्ध is like that. Isn't it? So that's a proof. While living as it happens, after leaving the body also, it's like that only. Okay, now the question. Nanu samsaratah pituhu sakashat reto rupena now before that it is said ki kamna chitam punah jayate tad asya of this father mrutva having died pratipattavyam yat that new body which is getting that entering into that new body tata trutiyam janma, that is his third life, third birth. Obviously the question is a very obvious question is, when you are talking about the child's first birth as reto rupena entering to womb of mother, second birth is he came out of mother's womb, his third life you have to say. You told the father dies, goes into other body, that is his third birth. कैसा ऐसा हो जाएगा? देखो, this is what is the spirituality. This is where we should become mature to go beyond our limited understandings. Spiritual life, Shastra Jnana matlab, from our limited wrong notions and understandings, we are going to the bigger and correct understandings. That is spirituality. So, Katham Punaha, how to accept? The answers are given in two ways. One is Pita Putra or not two. Second is, as I told you, in one frame it is put, this Putra also grows and he gives that work to his own son, and then he anyway goes and enters into third one. तो एक ही फ्रेम में हमने रखा. That's it. Our interest is not that the father is died, he is given three janma. No, third janma is more important. After leaving this body, entering into third janma. Actually, that becomes again first janma for the next one. Then he goes on. But all in all, this janma, marana, samsara, naraka cannot be avoided if you have not realized the Brahman or the self. That's important. So that portion will come very crucial. We will see tomorrow. This one and the fifth one, Vamadeva in the Garbha, how he realizes self. And sixth one, therefore, whoever does so, they alone get liberated. Otherwise, they'll go through samsara like this. The samsara जो इतना प्यारा प्यारा बताया इधर, not to create that pain in our heart. Otherwise, not so प्यारा प्यारा. It is so terrible. Our own life कितना प्यारा प्यारा है देखो. पूरा दुख ही दुख है. शारीरिक दुख, मानसिक दुख, निरंतर टेंशन, worry, anxiety, frustration. Where is the relaxation for us? These are topics very crucial to create vairagya. We will discuss them tomorrow along with the shlokas. Thank you. Om 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 Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो परम ऋषिभ्यो परब्रह्मणे श्रुति मात्रे नमः. तत्सत् ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु. थैंक यू.